Did you know that the Great Pyramid of Giza was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years? That's longer than it took to go from the Bronze Age to the Space Age. How did ancient Egyptians achieve such impossible precision with nothing but copper tools and stone? Why does the Great Pyramid align almost perfectly with true north, something we struggle with even today? And what secrets still lie hidden within its walls? Today, we're diving into the mind-blowing facts about the Pyramids of Giza that most people never hear about. These aren't just tombs in the desert. They're ancient computers, cosmic mirrors, and mathematical wonders built by some of the most skilled minds in human history. One of the most eyebrow-raising coincidences is the geographical location of the Great Pyramid. Its latitude is approximately 29.9792 degrees north, a number that matches the speed of light in a vacuum, 299,792,458 meters per second. This uncanny match has led some to speculate whether the builders had access to knowledge far beyond their era. While mainstream science views this as a coincidence, it's hard to ignore such a precise overlap. Even if it is just chance, it adds another layer of mystique to a monument already surrounded by mathematical anomalies. Despite the scorching Egyptian heat, the internal chambers of the Great Pyramid maintain a consistent temperature of around 20 degrees Celsius, essentially room temperature. No modern HVAC system, no insulation foam, just pure ancient engineering. How did the ancient Egyptians design a structure that passively cools itself? Theories range from the thermal mass of the stones to natural air convection caused by its internal layout. Whatever the cause, it's a design mystery that still puzzles modern architects and engineers. Inside the king's chamber, sound behaves strangely. Researchers have discovered that the chamber resonates at specific frequencies, amplifying low tones and muffling high ones. This has led some scientists and sound engineers to theorize that the space was intentionally designed for acoustic effects, possibly for rituals involving chanting or vibrations. The granite walls, the narrow shafts, and the empty stone sarcophagus may have been carefully placed to create a sonic environment meant to elevate the spiritual experience, or even trigger altered states of consciousness. Unlike many modern buildings that crumble under seismic stress, the pyramids have survived thousands of years of earthquakes with little structural damage. Why? Because their base is built on spherical and concave foundations that absorb and redistribute seismic energy. This means the pyramid doesn't just stand strong, it actively protects itself. Ancient engineers seem to intuitively understand structural resilience in a way that many buildings today still struggle to achieve. While we now see the Great Pyramid as a jagged peak of stone, ancient writings and depictions suggest it once had a shiny, possibly gold-plated capstone, known as the Benben stone. This sacred top piece was thought to channel solar energy and was associated with the sun god Ra. Some historians believe the pyramid once shimmered from base to tip, with the polished limestone casing and the golden apex catching and reflecting sunlight like a beacon. Imagine seeing that glittering structure from miles away. Talk about ancient bling with divine symbolism. A 2018 study by a team of physicists from ITMO University in Russia and Laserzentrum Hanover in Germany suggested that the Great Pyramid's shape can focus electromagnetic energy, particularly in its internal chambers and at the base. Using simulations, they found that under certain conditions, the pyramid can concentrate electromagnetic waves. While this doesn't prove the pyramid was an energy hub, it raises questions about whether the ancient Egyptians had an understanding, consciously or not, of energetic resonance within their designs. The proportions of the Great Pyramid seem to encode mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio. If you divide the perimeter of the pyramid by twice its height, you get a value extremely close to pi. Similarly, the slope of the pyramid approximates the golden ratio, a number that appears frequently in nature and classical architecture. Whether intentional or coincidental, this mathematical harmony adds another layer of sophistication to the structure's design, suggesting a deep understanding of geometry that predates Pythagoras. Beneath the Giza Plateau lies a vast and largely unexplored labyrinth of tunnels and chambers. Some of these were discovered as recently as the 1990s using ground-penetrating radar, revealing what appears to be an ancient subterranean complex beneath the Sphinx and possibly under the pyramids themselves. While Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities maintains that most are natural or storage spaces, alternative researchers believe they may house hidden records, ancient technology, or even burial vaults of lost dynasties. Geographically, the Great Pyramid sits at the exact intersection of the longest line of latitude and the longest line of longitude, meaning it is at the central point of all the Earth's landmass. How the ancient Egyptians could have known this, long before satellites or even accurate global maps, is a mystery. Coincidence or not, this placement gives the pyramid a unique position as Earth's most central monument, as if it was meant to mark something fundamentally important. Some researchers argue that the three Giza pyramids are part of a geodetic grid, forming a triangle that can be used for precise global positioning. This theory suggests that if you draw lines connecting major ancient sites, like Easter Island, Angkor Wat, and Machu Picchu, they intersect in ways that use Giza as a geospatial anchor. It implies an ancient global knowledge system we've only begun to uncover. Some researchers believe that the pyramid functioned as a solar calendar or clock, using shadows and light to track equinoxes and solstices with astonishing precision. The pyramid's shadow would shift throughout the year, aligning with specific markers on key dates. If this is true, then the Great Pyramid was more than just a tomb. It was a timekeeping device of monumental proportions, one that linked earth and sky in a cosmic rhythm of time, space, and the divine. Some researchers argue that the Great Pyramid is a scale model of Earth itself. If you multiply the height of the pyramid by 43,200, you get the polar radius of Earth. Multiply the base perimeter by the same number, and you get the Earth's equatorial circumference, with surprising accuracy. Why 43,200? That's the number of seconds in 12 hours, tying time and space together. Whether this was intentional or a cosmic coincidence, it suggests an understanding of Earth's proportions far ahead of its time. One of the biggest challenges of building the pyramid was leveling the massive base. How did they do it thousands of years ago? Archaeologists now believe the Egyptians dug a grid of trenches across the Giza plateau and filled them with water. The surface of water is always level, so by measuring to the surface, they could create an extremely flat and accurate foundation. It's a primitive method, but brilliantly effective and still used in some construction today. Originally, the Great Pyramid was covered in highly polished white Tura limestone, which reflected sunlight so powerfully that the structure would have glowed like a beacon under the Egyptian sun and even moonlight. Ancient texts refer to the pyramid as Iket, meaning glorious light. Over time, earthquakes loosened the casing stones, which were later taken to build mosques and buildings in Cairo. Today, only the core structure remains, but imagine how blindingly beautiful it would have looked in its prime. Built from an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, this colossal monument is more than just big, it's impossibly precise. Despite the impossibility of their tools, the Great Pyramid's base is incredibly close to being a perfect square. The difference in length between the longest and shortest sides is just 5.6 inches, across a base that spans over 750 feet per side. That's a margin of error of less than 0.1%. In other words, with primitive tools and no calculators, they achieved a level of precision we still admire today. It wasn't just effort, it was mathematical excellence. To align the Great Pyramid so precisely with true north, ancient builders would have needed advanced instruments. One prevailing theory is they used the stars Kochab and Mizar around 2500 BCE. When these two stars aligned vertically, it pointed exactly to true north. This stellar alignment method was later verified by astronomers. That means the Egyptians not only mapped the stars, but also used them to guide ground construction. It's celestial navigation on a monumental scale. Some theorists point out that if you take the pyramid's original height, 146.6 meters, and multiply it by 1 billion, you get 146.6 million kilometers, which is the average distance from Earth to the Sun. While mainstream historians call this a coincidence, the numerical match fuels speculation that ancient Egyptians may have encoded solar knowledge into their architecture in symbolic or metaphysical ways. In addition to Orion's belt, some scholars suggest the entire Giza complex mimics the Milky Way. The Nile River is said to represent the Milky Way itself, and the pyramids, especially their arrangement and orientation, mirror key celestial points. This suggests the builders were trying to replicate heaven on earth, reinforcing the belief that the pharaoh's soul would ascend to the stars. Geophysicists have noted that the pyramid's base and materials may act as a resonant cavity, able to vibrate with the natural frequencies of the earth. Some researchers claim that when standing inside specific chambers, sensitive equipment has detected low-frequency vibrations. While it's not fully understood, these acoustic anomalies may have played a role in ancient rituals, meditative states, or even energy transmission theories. Contrary to popular belief, many stones within the pyramid are not simply stacked, but interlock with each other. This technique increases structural integrity and is especially effective against earthquakes. Similar techniques are seen in other ancient megalithic structures around the world, from Peru to Japan, hinting at a shared architectural principle or even lost global knowledge. Unlike many Egyptian tombs covered in hieroglyphics, the Great Pyramid contains no inscriptions inside its main chambers. This has baffled historians. Why would the most important monument to a pharaoh omit any writing? Some believe it was a sacred space beyond language. Others think inscriptions may have once existed in now lost areas or were removed during antiquity. Modern studies have shown that the shape of the pyramids and their alignment affects the electromagnetic field in their immediate surroundings. Some visitors report experiencing tingling sensations, compass irregularities, or strange energy patterns near the pyramid. While not fully understood, it suggests that massive stone structures can subtly influence Earth's magnetic field, intentionally or not. Recent satellite scans using infrared and thermal imaging have revealed the faint outlines of dozens of potential structures buried beneath the sand near Giza. These include what may be lost temples, smaller pyramids, or even roadways connecting the complex. Much of Giza remains unexcavated, meaning we've only scratched the surface of what might lie beneath this ancient site. The Great Pyramid of Giza originally stood at 146.6 meters, or 481 feet, towering over the desert like a sentinel from another world. For nearly 4,000 years, no other man-made structure matched its height. To put that into perspective, it was taller than any European cathedral, skyscraper, or tower until the Lincoln Cathedral in England finally surpassed it in the 14th century. And here's something even wilder. The total weight of the pyramid is roughly 6.5 million tons. Engineers have calculated that it would take a modern construction company decades to replicate, and that's with cranes, GPS, and laser-guided tools. The joints between the stones are so tight that not even a razor blade can fit between them. And these weren't just any stones. So the next time you see a photo of the Great Pyramid, remember, it's not just an old pile of rocks. It's a monument to human ingenuity, a celestial observatory, and a mystery that defies time. From its mind-boggling engineering to its cosmic alignments and secret chambers, the Great Pyramid of Giza continues to challenge everything we think we know about ancient civilizations. Check out our channel for more incredible stories from history and beyond. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Head out on your next adventure. The journey never ends.